Jesus grew in favor with man. So he grew in favor of his relationships with other people. Because you see that prior to the time, which was really what we know of the week leading up to the resurrection, we know that is Holy Week, right? So prior to that week, Jesus was the most popular man on the planet. He had just fed the 5,000. He had done all of these miracles, and everybody loved him. He had healed people, and he had become very, very popular. All of a sudden, the tide turns. On about Tuesday of Holy Week, what he did was he went into the temple, and he saw what they were doing there. You remember, he turned all the tables over. He made a whip out of leather. Can you imagine Jesus cracking a whip in there? That's what he was doing. I can see money flying everywhere. I can see the doves flying everywhere that they were trying to sell. And Jesus got their attention and he said, "Don't you know that this is a house of prayer? And you've made it into a den of thieves." I would say that that got their attention. But Jesus also grew. I don't know how much he grew that day in favor with man, right? There were people that began to hate him at that point. And all of those in power began to hate him because they were afraid that Jesus was going to take over that area and that people were going to begin to serve Jesus. And that's exactly what happened. And so they didn't like him anymore. But Jesus is out there fellowshipping with the people who were drinking too much, prostitutes, people that were homeless, tax collectors, sinners, the Bible says. All of these groups that weren't so popular at that time, Jesus is sitting at the table with them, eating. Because he says, everybody matters, right? The rich, the poor. The old, the young. Black, white. None of these things mattered to Jesus. He grew in favor with man. So all of this was going on, and Jesus was growing, and as Henry Blackaby says, we cannot stay where we are and go with God. What's got to happen there is that we've got to learn to grow.